So namaskar. I'm sorry for the delay. In beginning I had some technical problems. So today's stream is about combining spiritual life, sadhana, meditation, day-to-day effort in elevation of the mind and our social life. So there will be main discussion questions like is modern life better in comparison to the days of of the ancient time, of the origins of yoga, and how we can use the advantages of the modern life without being distracted, how to do sadhana, and what is the ideal routine to succeed in the pursuit of meditation without damaging our social life and material life. With your permission, I will start with a little bit of singing so that we can all tune in, and then we are waiting for the other people to join this translation and this streaming. So I will be singing the mantra Bhavanam Kevalam. I hope you all have become familiar with this mantra. This singing of the mantra is called Kirtana. And when you sing, it is the ideal preparation for meditation, and it activates actually the brain. The singing, it manages the emotions. It is the best medicine, actually, psychological medicine. And for me, it always helps to concentrate and always helps to think. So I will sing for 1 minute. You can sing with me. Bhavanam Kevalam, 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 So consciousness is all there is. So is modern life better than the life of 1,000 years ago or 500 years ago for spirituality? My answer would be that there is no difference actually, because it seems that many problems are solved with technology, and today we can live comfortable life, but fundamental difference is not there, because in the comfort of city life you have time, you have opportunity to practice spirituality, but also there are so many distractions, and people may think that okay, in the city it is not possible to concentrate. Let me go to the forest, let me go to the mountain, and I will concentrate there. But the problem is that the mind is qualified with gunas of Prakriti. So the mind, today I am tempted with the attractions of the city, but if I go to the mountain, if I go to the forest, that temptation will not go away. Just there will be a different type of temptation. Like in the city, I think job, career, attainment of the results. And in the forest, I will be thinking, okay, in the nearby forest, there is a tree full of plums. And those plums, they are going to get ripe very soon. So I need to hurry up before the yogi from the neighboring forest has plucked all the fruits from that tree. So it is the same kind of process which is going. There will be different decorations, there will be different, the stage will be different, but fundamentally it will be the same kind of experience. So of course modern life, I think it gives, so it depends how we use the environment. In the forest it can be advantageous to do meditation, and in the comfort of the city it is also can be advantageous to do meditation. But the main problem is within the mind. So there are forces acting within the mind. We call them gunas. They are sattva guna, raja guna, and tama guna. Sattva guna is the first material force which creates the sense of existence. I exist. So primordial bliss is the state where the person, or I don't know, the consciousness, doesn't experience the feeling of I. There is no feeling of existence. There is such a profound ecstasy, as if there is no existence there. Then, due to the action of the sattva guna, the I feeling comes into existence. I exist. And that is the joyful feeling. I exist. So sometimes you can come to that primordial level. It is the first stage of the mind, which is called Mahat Tattva in yoga philosophy. The first stage of the mind. I am. I exist. For example, you have, let's see, here I have iPhones. I have these iPads. So I see earphone. So in this sentence, I say I see the earphone. So here there are three stages of the mind. I see earphone. And there are three material energies that create this mind. So I, sattva guna, I exist, the feeling of existence created by sattva guna. See, aham tattva, the doership, the acting mind created by raja guna. Raja guna means mutative force, the force which changes the state of mind. So once that force is active, the mind is going to fluctuate. It is going to go up and it will go down. It will go up and it will go down. And then finally, I see the earphone. I see earphone. So part of my mind will have to take a form of an object which I am seeing. And that is called chitta. So chitta is maintained, produced by tamaguna, the force of staticity. So those forces, they produce the mind out of consciousness. So originally there is a liberated consciousness, which is completely free, completely beyond any kind of sorrow, any kind of suffering. And then due to the action of the Prakriti. Prakriti is the material force or cosmic operative principle. The force, the energy that changes the nature of the consciousness. It is like there is a lake. So in that lake, there is water, but there is also ice. So how does the water become ice? Because of the change in temperature. So if the temperature falls below 0, the water becomes ice. So similarly, consciousness, how the consciousness takes form? Because of the action of energy. When sattva guna influence the consciousness, the first what appears is the feeling of I am, I exist. And this feeling is still very joyful. Like if you remove I see an elephant. If you remove elephant, if you remove the sea, and only I will remain, you will feel profound joy within yourself. So that is the sattva guna property. And then there is raja guna, the force that connects you, which makes you restless. You have to do something. You have to either move upwards or you have to move downwards. So it is the force that moves you from progress to degeneration, from degeneration to progress. Our mind goes up and down, and we cannot do anything with that. Just did you notice that your mind goes sometimes up, sometimes down? Yeah, so that is the Raja Guna. And then finally, Tama Guna is the force that gives the shape to the thought, gives the shape to the mind. So it doesn't matter where you meditate. You meditate in the city, you meditate in the marketplace, you meditate in the subway, or you meditate in the nature, you meditate in the mountains, you meditate in the forest. The more or less the result will be the same. It depends on your inner structure of your mind. It depends on the inner constitution of the mind. Of course, if you go to the mountain, the serene environment, peaceful environment, it will help you a little bit in practice of meditation. But truly, it is all internal. Your constitution of the mind. When you change the very constitution of the mind, then you can sit at the marketplace and you can enjoy meditation in such a way that you will not even be noticing anything around you. I remember when I was younger, I went to a big city, and sometimes during the day I have to go to do something. But I was very strict with my practice of meditation, so I would meditate without fail 3 times a day. So morning I do at home, evening I do at home, and daytime I have to do somewhere. So many times I used to do in subway, because there are some benches there. So I would go into subway, sit on the bench, and I would go into meditation. And meanwhile, thousands of people, they're just going and passing by. Thousands of people. And then I would sit and I would go very, very deep in meditation. I would not feel anything around me. I would just go into this kind of state of space. There is infinite space around me and I'm completely alone. And I would enjoy, I would feel very blissful in meditation. One time I feel that one lady is pushing my shoulder, and she is standing in front of me with one kind of sign, like a stop sign. With that sign she's, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to do this here." As if she is expelling evil spirits out of me. And I'm opening my eyes and I'm saying, "Okay, thank you. I'm just finishing. Allow me a few minutes more." So, and then, so if the mind is peaceful, if you train the mind in meditation, you will feel completely no difference. You will sit in the marketplace, you will sit in subway, you will sit in the forest, you will sit in the mountain. You will feel approximately the same thing. So it is all about working with your mind. So sadhana, meditation, is the process where you defeat the forces of nature, tamaguna, rajaguna, and sattva-guna. You defeat the staticity of your mind, you defeat the restlessness of the mind, and you defeat the very existence of your mind. So that is the hardest one, to defeat the very existence. To defeat the restlessness is okay. So that is the process of sadhana. And to combine, so there are two extremes. One person becomes extremely interested in spirituality and ignores his physical life, ignores his material life. It is one extreme. And another extreme is person doesn't have any spirituality and he's totally engrossed in material life. So in your opinion, what is better? You write in the comments. What is better? Which of the extremes is better? The scriptures say, I think it is in Katha Upanishad, it says that if you worship avidya, or the force of ignorance, or the materialism, if basically you become a materialist, you go into darkness. But if you worship vidya, the force of knowledge, force of spirituality, you go into deeper darkness. So what to do? You become materialist, you go into darkness, and our modern society is the proof of that. And there are so many people today, I think almost 1 billion people, they struggle with some kind of mental issues. Over 300 million people, they experience depression. 300 million, they experience some kind of demotivation. So around 1 billion people, they're dealing with the mental difficulties, with psychological difficulties. So this is the proof that you cannot just live in material life. You become unhappy. Because why? Because your nature is not fulfilled. You have many needs. You have one need is physical needs. You need to eat, you need to sleep. Then there are needs of the mind, like physical needs is what body needs. Then physico-psychic needs, which is what body needs, what mind needs at the level of the body. So like I not only want to eat, but I want to eat tasty food. That's the difference. That's another one. That's another kind of need. And then psycho-spiritual needs. The mind wants to experience spirituality. The mind wants to experience something more subtle. So once we start searching for that more subtle, we try to find happiness in love. We try to find happiness in different experiences. Sometimes there was a question also about psychedelic experience. In those experiences also a person tries to find happiness. In music, in art, that is a psycho-spiritual experience. The mind wants to come closer to spirituality and enjoy the spirituality. And then there is a spiritual experience. Spiritual experience is when you go beyond the mind. So there are inbuilt in us these 4 necessities, these 4 needs. And you become completely happy when you are able to fulfill each of those needs. So that is the real happiness, when you are able to fulfill 4 requirements. So when you become engaged purely in material life, you are bound to be unhappy. And if you only engage in spiritual life, you are bound to be even more unhappy, because then finally you lose the freedom in the material world. But you need to survive, because this in spirituality there is also bondages, but material bondages, they are very, very strong. like if you deal with the hunger, deal with the thirst, those bondages are much stronger than the spiritual bondages. So if we don't deal with solving of those immediate bondages, then we go into deeper darkness. So the advice would be, and the wisdom would be, to combine spirituality with your material life. Combine spirituality and material life. How to combine them? To combine, it is easy. It is not so difficult. It is nothing like something that only gods can do. No, every one of us can do it. And the solution is following the routine of the day. And what is the ideal routine we can follow? When we wake up, that special time is very precious, and that time is for sadhana. When you wake up, the mind is still, you have been sleeping, and the mind is still in a peaceful, in a subtle state. So instead of opening your phone and checking your messages in the messengers, you need to maintain Maunavrata. Maunavrata means a vow of silence. A vow of silence. It means you will not speak with anybody, you will not listen to anybody, you will not read anything, you will not entertain yourself, and you will not think too much. That is the vow of silence. You maintain the silent mind. And while you're maintaining this vow of silence, you need to do sadhana. Okay, we first have to deal, like when you wake up, what to do immediately. First, when you wake up, advanced spiritual disciples, when they get initiations, they also take vows. Like, for example, there is a vow, I will not harm anybody consciously. This is one kind of vow. And there are certain vows that you take on the spiritual path. So, when you wake up, first you repeat those vows. Then you establish the connection with your guru by imagining the guru sitting at the crown of your head. Come with the connection. There is a special kind of mantra for that. Anyway, that's for the advanced disciples. Then, after that, you go brush your teeth, clean your tongue, take bath, go toilet. So prepare yourself. It is very important. There is a habit that today that while people are in the toilet, they use a mobile phone. So it is very important not to go into that, because if you start reading the news, reading the messages, you are going to ruin your morning. So instead, go quickly to the toilet, then go to the shower, and then come back, and then you sit for meditation. And then ideally, for people, for the normal people in society, I would say the optimal time for meditation, it is moderately advanced. You can sit for 30 minutes in meditation. And then for very advanced people, you can sit for 1 hour. Even those, there are some people who really enjoy sadhana, enjoy spiritual practice. They can sit even 1.5 hours. So, in the morning, you are awakening your brain. What means to awaken the brain? What means to awaken the spirituality? You awaken your awareness. You awaken the willpower. Slowly, you need to build up your gray matter in the brain. Because it is just impossible for the person to concentrate in the beginning. So the structures supporting that concentration, they are physical structures in the brain. You need to build the gray matter of the brain. You need to grow it. It has to become a little bit thicker. So in your meditation, it is like day to day. It's like building the muscles. So you are building the gray matter in the brain. And slowly, you are able to concentrate, you're able to focus. Your mind becomes calm. You can control your emotional impulses. You can control your thoughts. You can control your focus. And also, during meditation, you awaken yourself. Like if you manage to concentrate very strongly, even for 5 minutes, you'll find that your entire day goes very, very smooth. Because there is a clarity in the mind. You see very clearly what you need to do, and you don't get distracted. So 2 things you awaken while you're doing morning concentration, meditation. Number 1, you awaken awareness. Number 2, awareness is ability to see the flow of your thoughts and emotions. That is also called metacognition. You are not the thoughts. You have the thoughts, and you control the thoughts. And that is a very important skill with everything. It is a very important skill in self-control. Without metacognition, without ability to see, to detach yourself from the process of thinking, you cannot control that process. And the second thing is the willpower. Okay, I see what is happening in my mind. I don't want it to happen, but it is happening. So now I need to change the direction of my thoughts. I need to replace crude thoughts with subtle thoughts. And for that, you need an effort. You need a willpower. So in the morning, you sit in meditation, and then you work on that. Then if you have done morning meditation, your whole life, your material life, like sometimes people, they say that, Dada, I am so busy. I say, if you are busy, you have to meditate more. Because if you are just busy, it doesn't mean that you have become effective. You need to be busy in such a way that you get your things done, that you get your things accomplished. You don't have to be like a donkey, moving and doing lots of work. You have to do things in an effective way. For that, you need awareness and you need willpower. Willpower to stay with your goal, not to get distracted. The main thing, today there are so many opportunities, but there is lack of focus. There are so many distractions. So in the very morning, you have to focus yourself. So after sadhana, after meditation, it is good to do few asanas, physical exercises. Because asanas, they balance your body, they open the flow of energy, and you feel very energetic and you feel very healthy. Your digestion improves, your stress decreases, and if the stress is very high, then you don't have energy. So you need to do the asanas, you need to do physical exercises. About 4-5 exercises. It will take you about 20 minutes. So then it is good to read something spiritual, go for a walk, give yourself time after sadhana and physical exercise, give yourself like 10 minutes time. Let your body and let your mind assimilate that energy that you have given yourself during this meditation practice. And then after that you go, you take breakfast, and then you are ready for work. So the whole day you will be working, you are going to your job or whatever. If you're doing project from your home, doesn't matter, you are working. Now you need to just work. Concentrate that way. Remove all the distractions and work. Then when you come home again, you meditate. You go take shower or just go and splash your face, and then again you meditate. So ideal morning meditation is like 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock is best. The earlier the better. And evening time also, like around 6 o'clock meditation. So this is the routine. And ideal yogic routine, you do twice a day meditation, and twice a day you do asanas, physical exercise. At least one time a day you need to do asanas, because the body is very important. The maintenance of the health of the body is very important for those people who want to achieve success in meditation. Because meditation, it requires so much energy. It is such a powerful process. You cannot be sluggish. You cannot be lazy. You cannot be feeling sleepy. You need to be very, very fresh. You need to be very alert to come to the level. And then, of course, while you meditate, through the effort that you do, through the willpower, you awaken that energy. Like sometimes I can sit and feel that in meditation I'm very tired and sluggish, but just through the sheer effort that I am doing, I can experience a good meditation. So this is the routine. So morning, evening, you dedicate, let's say 1 hour for your spiritual practice. And it will contribute to your social life, to your business life, to your work, to your family, everywhere, because you start controlling your emotions, you awaken energy, you awaken great motivation. And you are not getting tired. One friend of mine, he was telling, Dada, this lesson you taught me, it made me almost immortal. I work until 12 o'clock in the night and I'm not getting tired. I need to do this lesson, very important to do this lesson. I say, okay, no, but you have to also maintain a balance in life. You got the energy, but you have to also rest. But Dada, I'm helping so many people and I'm working. I say, okay, I'm happy for you, but that's, you also need to be balanced. There has to be time in life for your cultural development, for your eating, for your studying, not only work. Anyway, I could convince him. Okay, so this, the routine is the solution. And then you start by doing 5 minutes morning and 5 minutes evening. And every week you add 1 minute more. Next week you will do 6 minutes, next week you will do 7 minutes. And slowly you build up your time of meditation. Even the people who have so-called ADHD, they can build. They can start with 1 minute, and then slowly, it's just like training your muscles. You are growing the gray matter in your brain, and slowly you change the very nature of yourself. And it will become, you will be so surprised that in half a year of doing meditation, even little by little, you have such a profound change, because there is a change. There is a change in the very brain, and you have only one brain for all occasions. It's not like you take one brain for meditation, another brain for your work. You have one brain for all the occasions. So you change your brain with meditation, and then the same, more efficient brain is going to be for your work, for your activities. Okay. So now I will answer different questions that I have collected from recent subscribers' activities. What is your opinion on using psychedelic for spiritual growth, not for recreation? I think that psychedelics, they played a role in development of humanity. They open certain avenues, they open certain perspectives, they give some kind of originality, they give some kind of freshness to the process of thinking for human beings. But for the spiritualist, for the person who wants to enjoy spirituality and to build that capacity to enter into that area of consciousness, into that strata of pure consciousness, without any substances, I would say they are counterproductive, because you need to build a very subtle hormonal balance in yourself. And any crude chemical intervention is going to shatter that balance. For me, the sobriety is the best substance. The more sober I am, the better. So I have been sober like for last 29 years. I didn't use any substance, but my meditation is my substance. Because when I meditate, I force the glands, the pineal glands, the pituitary glands, to secrete their hormones. And you go into the state of bliss. It is the internal chemistry. So I'm very fond of that factory that produces the substances within myself, not from outside. So I would not like to disturb that balance within myself. I struggle with alcohol. Recently I have released video on alcohol addiction, and it looks like an interesting video and many people are watching it, so I advise you. I struggle with alcohol. I had a moment of clarity where I realized even my mistakes are part of the journey. Is this valid spirituality? Yeah, of course, mistakes. Without mistakes, it's almost impossible to learn. Of course, there is teachings of gurus, of the spiritual teachers. There is a teaching of the guru. So to avoid the mistakes, you can follow the teachings. But for us, really we learn through our own mistakes. Like, I know I should not do it, but I want to do it. Okay. So there is a democracy on the spiritual path. You can do it, no problem. You can do it, and then you will understand why it is not advised to do it. So it doesn't matter really how many times you fall, how many times you stumble. It really matters how many times you stand up. And after every mistake, if we correct, then that is the spiritual progress. I would not say that doing mistakes is the spiritual progress. I would say correcting mistakes is the spiritual progress. Meditation twice a day changed my life completely. Thank you. I told you. I told you. Of course, it is going to happen. If you practice meditation for half a year, even 5 minutes morning, evening, and later on you will increase as your gray matter is going to grow in the brain, you're going to increase that because you will enjoy more and more the practice of meditation. So it will be more and more like that. In half a year, you will feel very much transformed. How can I force myself to meditate regularly? I always feel busy and mentally restless. I need a magical kick to stay disciplined. Okay, I give you a magical kick. The advice is this: no meditation, no food. So before you take breakfast, meditate. Before you take dinner, meditate. Do not allow yourself to eat without meditating. It is the great training for your dopamine system, because dopamine system works like this. There is a stimulus and then there is a process. Like before, in our past as a Homo sapiens, it was a big deal to eat. You have to really deserve. You have to catch something. You have to catch a mammoth. You have to find some nuts in the forest. So you have to wander a lot through the forest until you finally can find something to eat. So it is the great training for dopamine system. If you want and you eat, you're making yourself weaker. You have to eat only after you have done some effort and you have deserved it. This is how we made to be. So instead of eating when you want, eat after meditation. And you will be much more stronger person, much more controlled person, and much more motivated person. Because before, you allow yourself the gratification, you make an effort. So this is the recipe which always work. If you assume that no meditation, no food principle, I guarantee you, you will be established in meditation. Isn't meditation about dissolving the ego, not becoming a better or more successful person? Meditation is love and silence. Wow, great question. So, how to dissolve the ego? Okay, you have a piece of ice. How do you make it into vapor? You need to give it an energy. You cannot just melt the piece of ice. You cannot just transform the piece of ice into the vapor. You cannot. You need to give energy to that piece of ice. So first, the piece of ice becomes better. It becomes water. And then it will become even more better. It will become vapor. So this idea of dissolving the ego is very misleading idea. This idea of sudden enlightenment is very misleading idea. There was this one Buddhist monk, well, not monk, nun. So she was practicing meditation for many years, like 15 years, 20 years, but she was not getting result, the desired result. Still the ego was there, still all the limitations of human beings were there. So one day she was walking with, there is this device that you carry, one kind of stick, and that you carry on the shoulders, and there are buckets of water. So she was carrying 2 buckets of water, and on that stick, I don't know what is the English name. So she was walking, and then suddenly one of the buckets, the buckets were like pieces of planks of wood connected with some kind of circles. So that circle broke, and the pieces of wood, they just went all around, and the water has been spilled. In that moment, she had the moment of enlightenment, and she wrote one poem. She said, I was trying to maintain as much as I could the old bucket. Now the old bucket is broken. There is no water in the bucket, and there is no moon in the water. So here she describes the process of enlightenment. This bucket is the ego that binds our mind. And then I was maintaining it. I was keeping it safe as long as I could. But now, finally, this circle which was binding the wood was broken. There is no water in the bucket anymore. There is no moon in the water. So moon in the water is cosmic consciousness. The water in the bucket is the substance of the mind. And the ego is something which defines it, confines it into this personality. So she achieves so-called sudden enlightenment, suddenly. But it doesn't happen suddenly. You have to cut slowly that ring that binds the wood. You need to slowly work on your ego. And what is the work on the ego? You need to give the energy to yourself. And you need to change the very quality of your mind. And then finally, once you reach a critical mass of that change, then suddenly you go into that enlightenment. Suddenly you go into that realization. But you cannot say that this realization just happened. It has happened because she was doing sadhana. She has been doing meditation, and she has accumulated that growth because the mind has become so large. The mind has become prepared for that grand realization. So to becoming better is the part of that process. First, you become better. You become more subtle. That is the movement. It doesn't happen just you remove the ego. How you can remove the ego? You cannot remove that ego. It's such an outlandish statement. Remove the ego. Where it will go? It is your very self. It can be removed only through transformation, not just because you want. So this is a very good question. Thank you for that. Is there a difference between concentration and meditation? Concentration seems like focused effort. Meditation like effortless awareness. Should there be two separate practices? Morning mantra plus evening open witnessing. Of course, concentration and meditation, there are two different processes. If you take the classical yoga structure, there are 8 limbs. Yama niyama, the moral principles. Yama allows you to live in harmony with the world. Niyama creates a developing mindset. Flexible and developing mindset. Makes you into a strong personality, into a motivated personality. So it gives you energy for yoga. Then goes asanas. Asana, it means a posture for meditation. You have to sit motionlessly. You have to train your body to sit completely motionlessly. That is the essence of asana. That is dhyana-asana, and there are asanas which is called svastyasana, means the asanas for the health. And there are some exercises which improves your health and energy. Then pranayama, the practice of breath control. Why do you need to practice the control of the breath? Because through breathing, you control the mind. Then goes pratyahara, the detachment of the mind from the external world, from the body, and from the thoughts. Then dharana, concentration. Concentration means to fix your mind on one object. And then goes meditation. So what is meditation? Meditation is observation. So one thing is just awareness. Today it is practiced many times, like mindfulness. I am aware of my thoughts. I am observing them. I would not call it meditation actually. It isn't just an awareness. Meditation is the awareness of something very particular. Through concentration, you first focus yourself on something you want to realize. You focus yourself on consciousness, and that consciousness you observe. That is what meditation is. So there is no meditation actually without concentration. So first you concentrate, and then you observe. Then you learn, you study. It's just like you are in the boat. That boat is on the ocean, and there is a storm in the ocean. And you want to look at the moon through the telescope. So the walls of the telescopes, they are pratyahara. They cut off all other unnecessary things. Then the process of focusing the telescope on the moon, the boat is moving, but you keep focusing your telescope on the moon. So that process of focusing, that is called concentration. And then the action of looking at the moon is meditation. So meditation is a very concentrated study of something. So spiritual meditation is the study of the spirit, of the spiritual strata of the consciousness. So I would say, do this kind of meditation. That is the best. The awareness of the body, awareness of the breathing, awareness of the thoughts, these are all preliminary things. They develop the metacognition. They develop the ability to see your thoughts as separate from yourself, to witness your thoughts, to witness your emotions. But it doesn't give you spiritual realization. Spiritual realization is when you focus your attention on the spiritual strata, on consciousness. Respected Dada, where can I learn how to meditate properly? Is the step-by-step guide. Yes. You can learn in this channel. You can learn. There are I will attach to this live translation, I will attach 2 videos. One video is very simple meditation, awareness of happiness. And another meditation is more advanced meditation, it is with mantra meditation. And with that mantra meditation, I will just put the link on the first video, and there are 10 videos in that course. If you go through that course, you are going to understand more or less everything that you need to know about meditation practice. And then that is the basic. And then after some time, let's say after 3 months, after 6 months, after you start meditating regularly, you can come to me or meet me somewhere. Mostly I'm in Europe, but I come sometimes to India, I come sometimes to Israel. So then we can meet and I can teach you advanced lesson of meditation. And there are 6 advanced lessons of meditation. So if you get yourself prepared, you can learn them one by one, those lessons. All right. For some reason, I cannot see your comments. 1 second, let me try to live chat currently unavailable. I didn't see any questions from you coming in the chat, so unfortunately I cannot answer now. Anyway, we had half an hour, so next Saturday again we will do live, and whatever comments you write under the videos in the channel, I will collect all those comments, all those questions, and I will answer in the Saturday sessions. So I'm planning to do these sessions regular, 10 o'clock Central European time every Saturday. Yeah, and I will also leave the links under this video. You can join with our channels where there is a community, where we can talk, where we can spend time together, and where you can see all the announcements of all the events that I'm doing. So thank you very much for being with me today, and have a very good day.